Rain fell gently outside the studio as the spotlight shone on Xiao Zhan's face. That night's interview should have proceeded as usual. Standard questions, standard answers, the immaculate smile of a famous star. But something was different. His gaze seemed deeper, his voice deeper than usual, as if he were preparing to reveal something he had held back for too long. The interviewer began cautiously, alluding to a difficult time Xiao Zhan had experienced a few years ago. The room fell silent for a moment. Xiao Zhan smiled slightly, not the radiant smile his fans were familiar with, but the smile of someone remembering something hard to explain. And when Wang Yibo's name came up, his breath caught slightly. "I never really talked about it," Xiao Zhan said, staring at the table in front of him. The camera caught a flash of emotion he rarely showed. "It's not that I want to hide it. It's just that sometimes there are things that are too precious to explain with words." The interviewer waited, giving him space. Xiao Zhan continued, his voice growing softer. He spoke of the grueling filming days, the days when his schedule was so packed he forgot to eat. Amidst all this, there was a figure who always appeared quietly, without publicity, without fanfare. Wang Yibo, in his quiet manner, arrived only with a bottle of energy drink and a short comment: "Don't forget to take care of yourself." According to Xiao Zhan, it was small moments like these, never seen by the cameras, that stuck with him the longest. "He doesn't talk much," Xiao Zhan said with a chuckle. "Sometimes I get annoyed because he's so brief. But somehow, I always feel calmer after he comes." The interview began to shift from light-hearted conversation to something more intimate. Fans watching could even feel the atmosphere thickening with a rarely spoken honesty. Xiao Zhan finally lifted his gaze, and his eyes seemed to well up with tears. When things were happening, when everything felt like it was falling apart one by one, he said, referring to the darkest period of his career, "Yibo never appeared in public to defend me. But he was always there behind the scenes. A text message, a quick phone call, a few simple words that didn't even sound dramatic, but that was what kept me going." The interviewer looked at him empathetically. "Does that mean your relationship is more than just colleagues?" he asked, a question that froze the entire internet for a few seconds. Xiao Zhan smiled again, this time warmer. He looked down for a moment, as if considering his answer carefully. "I don't know what other people think," he said quietly. "But for me, there's a bond that doesn't need to be explained. A bond that doesn't need labels." He told the story of one particular night, when he was feeling completely mentally exhausted. When his phone rang, he saw Wang Yibo's name on the screen. There was no long conversation, no overly encouraging words. Just Yibo's voice saying, "If you're not okay, I'm here." That simple sentence left Xiao Zhan speechless for a moment during the interview. Several clips from the past were then shown, small moments that might have been considered mere coincidences. The way Yibo would stare at Xiao Zhan when he was unconscious. The way Xiao Zhan always adjusted his steps to stay close to Yibo. The way they understood each other without needing words, as if their worlds were running on the same frequency. The interview began to flow like a story long waiting to be told. Xiao Zhan admitted that they weren't always on the same page. There were days when they fought over small things. Their personalities were sometimes as different as fire and water. But it was precisely those differences that made their relationship so enduring. "I can't say everything was perfect," Xiao Zhan said, his voice full of sincerity. "We're both stubborn. We both have our walls. But there's something that always makes us come back to each other." The interviewer probed deeper, asking if there was a particular phrase Yibo had said that was hard to forget. Xiao Zhan paused for a long time before answering. He once said, "If you fall, I'll pull you up. If I fall, please don't let go of my hand." That's not how Yibo usually speaks. But when he said it, I didn't know what to say. Fans around the world were immediately transfixed. The phrase was simple yet filled with lasting meaning. For the first time, it was like Xiao Zhan had opened a door that had been tightly closed. He concluded his story with a reflection. It doesn't matter what people call that relationship, friendship, brotherhood, or something undefinable. What matters is that the trust is real, and I'm so grateful to have met someone like him. The studio lights slowly dimmed. The cameras stopped rolling. But the emotional thrill of that confession lingered in the air, hanging like a secret that had just been shared with the world. Fans were still wondering what exactly was going on behind it all. As Xiao Zhan rose from his chair, he smiled slightly and added one final sentence that didn't make the official recording. Someday, maybe we'll tell you everything. But for now, let this be a story only the two of us understand. That night, when he returned to his apartment, his phone rang. The name that appeared made him pause for a moment. It was Wang Yibo. There was no long message, no analysis of the interview. Just one short sentence as usual, "I watched." Despite its simplicity, Xiao Zhan smiled, feeling something warm creeping up in his chest. He didn't need any further explanation. He knew Yibo understood the meaning of everything he had said that day. He replied carefully, honestly, but within the bounds of what only they understood. "Thank you for being there." There were no emoticons, no affirmations. But he knew that, for those accustomed to understanding without words, it was more than enough. A few seconds later, his phone rang again. It wasn't a message this time, a call. And in Yibo's low voice, he heard something unspoken but always present. Worry, warmth, and a familiar sense of belonging. Their conversation that night wasn't long, in fact, very brief. But the silence between them felt like another language only the two of them spoke. After hanging up, Xiao Zhan leaned back on the sofa, feeling the world slow down. Perhaps the world would continue to guess, continue to speculate, continue to connect signs they might not even have intended. But for Xiao Zhan, only one thing was certain: Yibo's presence was a part of his life he would never take for granted. And finally, as the city lights dimmed in the distance, Xiao Zhan closed his eyes and let his thoughts drift to all the memories he had treasured. He realized that whatever the name of the relationship, whatever its form, he no longer minded if the world learned about it little by little. Because some stories, after all, weren't written to be hidden forever. Some stories were destined to be told, even if only through whispers, glances, and confessions held back for years. With slow steps, he left the studio, leaving behind millions of questions, millions of hopes, and a truth he'd finally revealed after years of silence. The truth about trust, loyalty, and a bond that was never truly broken, whether it was just friendship or perhaps something more.